All right, everybody, everyone out there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hopefully not for some of you, wherever you are in the world.
All right,
So,
Truman.
yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So we've got our fearless leader, Ruben Dua, in here, the CEO, the founder, the maestro. And we've got Mr. Russ Johns, who I'm going to properly introduce in a little bit, but a little preview. He's hiding in the wings. And welcome to the Dubb Partners Weekly Meeting. We're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. PST. And we're talking about topics of the week. We've talked strategy. I want to remind everyone, and this is super big, if you are a Dubb partner, which you should be since you're here. If you're new, I want to show everyone, just as a reminder, where to go within your Partner Stack account. Okay, just as a reminder, this is a really important point. The resources, all right? This is something we spent a lot of time on. The replay of the last meeting, stop cold calling, Dubb Academy videos, referral forms, 13 ways to promote Dubb. We've got a ton of assets that we're going to keep adding in here when Ruben and I are in the studio. And that's going to make it even easier for you guys to sell Dubb. And that's what it's all about. So let's jump right into one of my favorite topics to talk about, and Ruben as well. And this is a really important selling point for everybody out there. So especially when you're talking to people about Dubb, what is the problem? What is the biggest problem out there? And that is the fact that text-based communication lacks three things: trust, humanity, and impact. Now, trust, when you see a text-based SMS or a text-based email coming to you, what are the chances you're going to open it? Almost zero, right? And if you do open it, you're just scanning through that right away to see, okay, what is this even about, right? So when you're talking to someone about Dubb and how powerful it is, you want to ask them, hey, how are you doing your communication? How are you doing it? And that's an immediate opportunity, because I guarantee you they're probably already using just text-based SMS or email. This lacks massive humanity. Just a bunch of lines of text does not convey the person trying to get that message out there with their service, their product, their sales. It is beyond important to have that face with the message. And then lastly is the impact. If there's no impact, there's going to be no opening of door number one, door number two, and door number three. Ruben's talked about it before, closing is kind of a bad phrase for when you get a sale. It's really the opening of a relationship. And the best way to open a relationship is impact. So when you directly sell Dubb and speaking the Dubb to other people, always hammer home the fact that the old way of text-based doing things, trust, humanity, impact, are severely lacking. So that's something you want to absolutely hammer home as a point. What's the solution? So immediately, once obviously you have a problem, you've got to have the solution. And the easiest way is video gets connections, conversations, and conversions. These are the three C's that we're all over: connections, conversations, and conversions. Because if you're not able to get these three, what's the point of being in sales? And what's the point in almost being in humanity in a lot of ways? Now, that leads right into the phrasing that we've really gone through. We went into a manifest in terms of what this really means. And Dubb is the sales operating system, the SOS. So when businesses and salespeople out there are throwing up the SOS smoke that they need help, they can't connect, they can't convert. Well, the answer, ironically, is the SOS in return, the sales operating system. This system, it's about the power of video, automation, contact management, and it creates the three C's that we talked about: connections, conversations, conversions. One of the biggest things with this is other entities out there that do video messaging feel very much like they're an off-the-shelf thing. Oh, hey, I just need video messaging to get back to someone. Oh, hey, I just need video messaging to really just get right a hold of that person. There's no big picture thought process with this thing. So when you're talking about Dubb, let them know this is an entire system that is dedicated in all its different parts to creating these three things: connections, conversions, conversations, and conversions. Now, the ways to use Dubb, especially for you Dubb lovers out there, this is going to sound familiar, but these are very important when you're communicating with someone about what Dubb is. The video capturing, the communication through video, whether it's through the mobile app, through the desktop app, through the Chrome extension, through the website recorder, sales communication in general. It livens up as soon as you're seeing another person on the other side. Social selling, something Ruben and I do all the time. We take a fun topic, we relate it back to business. Hey, Dubb is fantastic for it. You can put it across all your channels. So let that be your vehicle. Email and SMS campaigns. That is one of the most important things in terms of getting your bulk messages out there, your singular messages. Let the video do the work for you. Automated workflows. Those are fantastic. You set those up. You can have simple time-related drips. You can have action-related drips and sequences. Just fantastic. Data reporting. That's huge. getting the data to be able to follow up with someone. Hey, I'm reaching out because I know that you did X, Y, and Z. The CRM aspect of it, the contacts, the tasks, the deals, so important. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to throw it over to Ruben, and I'm going to let him just kind of show off a little bit of tech over there. And, Ruben, you get to show off a little bit. Here we go.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rob. Rob, I want to kind of express my gratitude to you, because what I think you do so well is you take something that's very complex and you put it in terms that is so relatable, and it's so simple. And that's true genius, in fact, because they say, I think Albert Einstein said this, even though he couldn't tie his shoes, he did have this very important idea that if you could explain something to a child that you truly understood it. Ultimate mastery is to be able to describe something and explain something in very, very simple terms. So, I think that what we have really realized is that what we're building is not just video messaging. It's not just the ability to create campaigns. It's not managing deals. It's not looking at data for customer journey tracking to figure out what they've done. It's an entire system, in fact. And it is the sales operating system, very endearly also acronymed SOS, because sometimes we need a life raft and a vest. And here we are evangelizing the Dubb sales operating system. So I would love to open up the chat for some questions, some comments. What do people want to learn about? We have a master in the house. We have Russ Johns. And when I think of someone who is a master, it's there's this old adage that if you can't do something, then you teach it. And I totally want to expel this idea, because I think that it's terribly wrong. In fact, Russ is an example, a living example of someone who can not only leverage technology and use it to gain success for his own personal brand, for his own podcast, for his own company, but also have the ability and the distinct expertise to teach other people how to do it. So I could geek out and I could share my screen and I could go into a bunch of tech, but what I'd really like to do is just give Russ the stage. I promise to come back with some screen sharing, but I do want to make it specific to what people's needs are. So I want to be a good listener here. So please, if you don't mind, just light up the chat. What would you like to learn more about? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? Where is the friction that you're receiving in your career for your company, on a micro level, on a macro level, on an individual level, on a business level? Bring us information, and we promise to not only deliver information in this call, but also in our future content, our future meetings, our social posts, and our YouTube videos, and wherever we can possibly provide value. So without further ado, Mr. Russ Johns, I'd like to bring you to the stage. I think we have to ask you to unmute, because there's one guy that should not be muted, and that's Russ Johns.
I just want to be, aware of not being too loud when I'm not necessarily needed to be loud. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ruben.
Do you have roosters in or near your property?
Not currently.
Okay, got it.
Hey, thank you, Ruben and Rob. And it's really important that we actually have, I see a few familiar faces in here. Sandy, Scott, thank you so much for joining us today. And also the fact that we are here to help you succeed. And one of the things that we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do is understand and also, unlock some of the things that you may be wondering about. And that's the purpose of these calls. That's the reason we are here. And I'm #1 Dubb fan. So # love my Dubb. And the thing that I have found over the years is there's a lot of things that are taking place in and around us, and a lot of activity. We go through our day, we have lots of emails going through, people send us messages, there's a lot of things that we can be distracted by. And one of the things that I want to share with you today is video is increasingly growing. And also one of the things that are really growing is podcasts. And there's a huge audience of podcasters. and YouTubers and content creators. And I think that that's a huge opportunity for anyone that wants to be able to express and extend their brand or their message. And Dubb is the de facto standard for helping you generate that activity and also invite people into your community and also amplify some of the messages that you have to share with your community. But today I wanted to kind of explain that Dubb has actually generated over thousands of phone calls and communications and contacts and connections for myself personally. I did the pirate broadcast, which got me introduced to Sullivan and a master at Dubb on his own right. And the fact that he's using it and utilizing it to his advantage every single day, and he's just rocking it out. That's another thing. Sandy Parker, we connected a while ago, and she's actually using it to help women in her community get visibility on video as well. And the reason I bring this back to podcasting is because podcasting increasingly is growing, and there's like 3 things that you can really do to touch that audience if you want to be a partner, or if you're already involved in the podcasting arena, or if you're thinking about the possibility of being in on that part of the equation. And I'll just share my screen and go through this really quick, and then I want to ask questions as we have through the process. If that's okay, Rob.
Yeah. Let me hold on a second.
But
okay.
Please let us know what we can provide help with, trying to clear the differences with Vidyard, Loom, etc.
Yeah.
Close, keep. I can answer my personal opinion, but Ruben or Rob, if you want to take that on and
yeah, I'll take a quick stab at that. I mean, here's kind of my take on this. So I think that there's some great tools out there for video messaging for sure. And I am so honored to share this space with companies like Vidyard and Loom and even BombBomb. BombBomb is actually the pioneer in this space. They basically, can I say invented the email, or can I say pioneered the email, the video email about 10 years ago? Maybe, yeah. They're the first people that came out with it. We've always had a connection to video. In fact, that's what our first prototype was. Russ, you know that because you were one of our earliest customers, 3 years ago now. And we had a thesis that the problem that we were trying to solve ultimately is bringing back the personal touch to human beings. It's such a problem in sales, it's not even funny, okay? It's a trust problem. Most of us have our defense mechanisms up when a salesperson, or for that matter, any person, comes and approaches us. Why? It's a self-defense mechanism that's been attained and acquired from being burned, right? It's from being mistreated. It's from being oversold to. It's from scammers calling us. Hashtag scam likely. Someone that I was recently going to do some work with, and I had him over to the house, and we had some scotch. He sends me an email and he says, "Yeah, I'm happy to send the documents, but please send the money first." And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I had you over at my house, we had some scotch, you played with my kids, and then you're saying I'm not going to deliver the goods until I spend the money first. And it was a reminder. When I look at that, I say, well, does he have the problem? Do I have the problem? I mean, the problem is trust. People just don't trust one another. And the way that we can solve that problem is by building more humanity, building more personal touch, maybe also having better scotch. Not sure about that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we started out as a video messaging platform, and that core competency, that core offering was in direct competition with companies like Loom and Vidyard. But we started to evolve, and we started to say it's not just about video messaging. It's not just about getting a piece of content over the pipes and then having someone click on that and then click on a button and they go somewhere else. It's not just about that. It has to be a holistic experience. And that is a factor for 2 reasons. Number one, from a seller's perspective, from the corporate perspective, that the more tech that you have, the more confusing it's going to be. And I know this because I'm a maximalist when it comes to tech. I can prove it right now with these 4 cameras that are on my desk.
Yeah.
More technology does not mean better solutions. It actually means more technology and more stuff. And that simply creates more friction, which ultimately leads to less results. So our thesis is to simplify the process of communicating with sales. Sully, I'm not sure if you just raised your hand, but I'd love to hear you speak. Maybe a webcam adjustment. But the idea here is to simplify sales communication through the things that Rob messaged. Sending a video, communicating with campaigns, managing client data through customer journey tracking through our content management system, automating deals, and then ultimately having the whole thing work with data. So that's a lot of information, but I promise you that it's so simple. It truly is.
And the thing is too, it's really about having the perfect listening environment. Because a lot of time in sales, when people are getting cold called or they're being contacted out of the blue and they're getting hit with text messages and text emails, there's, like we said, there's no humanity in that, but there's no environment where the seller is offering a service or product that can really enhance the other person's life. And the buyer isn't even listening to what that is. And it could have improved their life or their service or what they're doing. So you've got two people trying to communicate and there's just a huge wall right there. And that's what makes it so difficult. So the simplification of the message with the correct system/vehicle, that's what that's all about.
Agreed, Rob. This is Scott here. Ruben, I want to tell you is I agree with everything that you said. That's what I put in the chat twice already. I need to understand that automation process better. Yeah. I need to have that. And that's what I'm hoping to learn. And also I want to tell you guys, I've been a Dubb user for almost 2 years now. I was a very early adopter and I was BombBomb first. And when I found Dubb, I immediately dropped BombBomb and went straight to Dubb for a variety of different reasons. I love Russ Johns. You're the best. I want to sing your praises. You, Darius, Ruben, all the people that I have spent the last 2 years. And I will tell you the other thing that's really weird. I get this email from somebody, Ruben, one of your support people, and they say, oh, by the way, you got like hundreds of dollars in your account that you should use. And I go, what? I didn't even know. So my affiliate bank account has hundreds of dollars in it. I didn't even know it existed. So I'm just such a fan that I tell everybody, every company I talk to, I say, you're not using video? What the heck? Or where are you? Are you still, chiseling on a slate? And then I get an email saying, you better use this money. What would you like to? So I got another year's worth of free Dubb because of all my affiliates. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You built a great company. You've built a great company.
Thank you. Huge gratitude towards the team, towards the community. This has been such a massive effort. Data and information and listening is really the key here, listening to what people are going through. And that's how we've evolved the platform to be what it is. So thank you so much for saying that, Sully.
And Russ, I wanted to bring it back in, and I'm going to give you the ability to share over here because I know you wanted to share some stuff on your end. And I wanted to ask you too, from your experience, Russ, the indirect or direct selling of Dubb, what's kind of been the natural fit for you, over your time when you spread the word about Dubb?
Well, that's a great question, Rob. And I want to make sure that we all have an opportunity to sell and promote Dubb. And there's two things that I've done in the past that have really worked well. Number one, just building relationships and helping more people. One of the mantras that I love to think through on every day is help more people, help more people. It's very simple. It's very clean. And if I can help Scott learn how to do automation so he can actually make more money, who's he going to refer business to, or who he's going to send people to when they need some help with Dubb? It's a natural progression of being able to help, add value, and produce results. And then another piece of that is showing up. I know Dubb is a tremendous content creator, always adding value. And if you haven't seen their content, you're probably not online because it's there and the value is always being distributed. The second part is through podcasting and through my live streams and introducing what I call the 3 steps for producing the show with Dubb itself. And once people experience that process and they understand the 3 steps, they're there and they're asking more questions. They're going, how can I get some more of this stuff? I love what you're doing. And I've had people call me up and saying, what did you use to send me that video with? And then I get to explain it to them. It's like, hey, if you'd like to learn more, I'd love to share with you, and here's a link. And that's the reality of what is available to everyone. And you, like Scott says, I'm going to amplify this again, Ruben, is that you've created this amazing program, amazing organization, and now it's an amazing opportunity for everyone to earn money just by using a tool they love. And that's the way I think about Dubb, is being able to amplify something I already enjoy, and being able to share the world with it. That's the gift. So
yeah.
And it's so it's two-phased. It's being able to share the value and then set the example. So Scott, if you want more information on automation, be happy to help and connect with that. So, as always. So
I would love to kind of jump into some of the automation ideas that we could help facilitate. So I want to understand more about what we're trying to accomplish. I will give this sort of preface with the idea that automation, in my opinion, is the final frontier of business. Okay, we've heard this before. We can all picture the robots in the Amazon warehouse doing their thing with those little bots that are moving shippings around, and that little arm that Tesla's working on that inserts itself into the car to charge it by itself. We can all picture what automation looks like in the future. It's not that robotic a lot of the times. Sometimes it's logic. Automation equals logic, right? Yeah. We went to the Sales Innovation Expo conference at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and it was in kudos to the folks for putting it out there. It didn't occupy the entire convention, more like 1/6 of it. But next year it'll probably be bigger. The point though is that we met a lot of people. We met hundreds of people. We had business cards flying around. We had text messages. We had emails. There was so much information. And what we did was we sort of realized before the show that if we came back with a stack of business cards, and when I say a stack of business cards, I mean this in the literal sense, but I also mean this in the metaphorical sense, which is just contacts. Sully, there it is. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's people, it's information. Every day that goes by that we don't connect with those people, it's one more day for them to forget about the engagement, and frankly for us to forget about them, until eventually those are meaningless. They could just be emails that you scrape off the internet. You have no idea who these people are. In fact, it's a little creepy if you email someone after a year saying, hey, I met you at the show last year. It's like, well, where the hell have you been? Like, what rock did you die under? It's almost
leads are like a donut. If you don't eat it today, it's stale tomorrow. Come on.
That's exactly right. And who wants to eat a stale donut? So I don't even eat donuts after day one. So there you go. But with automation, we can solve all those problems. But because effectively what we can do is we can clone ourselves. Okay. So here's just 3 ideas that come to my mind very quickly when it comes to automation. Number 1 is a top of funnel engagement sequence. Hey, my name is Ruben. Great to connect with you over X, LinkedIn, conference, meeting in person, referral. Would love to educate you on some of the things that we're doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Put your best script together. Click on the button below to book a time. Watch the next video in the sequence to learn more about what we do. Watch the next video to watch a testimonial, a case study. You guys are the creators here. You guys can come up with what the content is. And that's drip email number 1 or SMS. Okay. Then number 2 is, hey, just wanted to follow up is maybe a little weird, but wanted to provide some more value. I wanted to lead with value. Here's another thing. And then after 2 more days, another thing. That's a simple way to engage with someone. Now, here's the cool thing about that. You can do that to 100 or 1,000 people. All you have to do is one simple thing. It's add a tag in their contact on Dubb. Once the workflow is set up, all those workflows get triggered based on tags. You can also be more sophisticated, and you can say, If they do X, if they do Y, if they watch a video, if they click on a call to action, that's a little bit more advanced. But just simply adding a tag to their contact profile, which I definitely want to show how to do that, you can actually trigger an automated workflow. So the sky's the limit when it comes to automation and how you can create these drip sequences, as we call them. You just have to think, if you had a stack of business cards and you didn't have enough time to connect or send an email or a video to every single one of these people, what's the message that you could send them all triggered by an automated workflow?
Yep. And, this is an important point too. And this comes from a wonderful conversation I had yesterday with a Dubb, a longtime Dubb user. So when we talk about Dubb being able to really, truly connect with the whole system, the humanity, everything we talk about, one important aspect, and this is something you can talk to any industry about, is client retention. So a lot of the times, a lot of firms are hired to go get accounts that are gone, get them back, right? Whatever the deal is. This gentleman I spoke to the other day talked about how making a Dubb video for someone, okay, was a wonderful, wonderful way to make a connection and keep that person, because they did not want to be contacted again. So they didn't want a Zoom setup call. They didn't want anything. So by sending an asynchronous video with a personal apology from someone, made the impact, because they watched that video on their time. There was no pressure. They heard the personal message. And then guess what? The account came back. So when you're talking to clients or people out there about getting Dubb, it's all about the retention and humanity of accounts as well. So that's something that's really big.
Nice. Yeah. And then I have a little screen share that I can share very quickly to kind of show the simplest way to set up a workflow. So let me just share my screen very quickly. So the first thing you want to do is you want to think about tags. Tags are just a really good way to manage your contacts, to organize them. You can sort based on tags, but most importantly, you can trigger workflows. So in the connections section in contacts, click on the edit button, and you have the ability here to add a tag. So in this case, we can see this is a lead, this is an SMB, and then there's a conference strip that was applied to this person, right? Now, once you're in your automation and your workflows, what you can do is, if you click on workflows right here, and if you go into one of your campaigns, what you can do very specifically is you can include a tag. So in this case, there's a tag. So if I put conference drip here, actually, on the build page, video, you want to have tag added, okay? Conference drip, there it is. So as you noticed, I was a little confused initially because this was set to video watched. So that's another trigger. I'm glad that kind of showed up, because that shows the ability on how many ways that you can trigger a workflow. Contact stage changed. This is on the deals. This is like going from the left to the right on the deal board. Number 2 is if a CTA is clicked. So if they picture this, if they click on a link to book a time in your calendar, but then you never see a time booked with them, you can trigger an automated sequence. Another idea is tag added, which I'm going to explain in a moment. Video page viewed. So if they went to a video, but let's say they did not watch it, and then video watched. If they watched a video, maybe they are expressing engagement and they want information. But the simplest way to trigger one, again, is this ability to add a tag here. So once this tag is added, then what happens here is that this build then triggers. Workflow is started, email is sent, delay, here, let me just zoom in here. Email is sent, wait 3 days, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Ruben. That's awesome. Sandy, I noticed you had your hand raised. You wanted to share. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about an experience I had the other day, and I was canceling my order with a company, and I just didn't want it anymore. It was one of those $19 a month things. And I got a reply from the owner in video that said, I am the president of this company. Let me tell you why I started the company, because people like you who did this, that, and that, we wanted to make it easy. And look, I know you've canceled our service. It would just be the greatest thing if you would tell me why and what we could have done different. And click below to give me your honest answer.
Yep.
And I said, well, I'm treated like a robot. Nobody replies. The demo didn't work. I gave him the 5 things.
Right.
And he sent me an email back, and I asked him, I said, was that part of your automation? When somebody cancels, do you automatically send that? He said, I do, and it's saved a lot of business. And I stayed with him just because of who he is as a person.
That's a.
I thought, he
The
cares
power.
about me, and it's $19. I might not use it this month, but now I see what
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I got an automatic. Hey, can we do another demo? Hey, can we? They really gave a crap about me.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
that's a perfect example of that. Thank you for sharing that, Sandy. That's actually perfect. Russ, I wanted to ask you, in your experience so far, what's been the one part of Dubb /feature / that you love the most, that you just love sharing the word about, where you've really had connection with people when you're talking about Dubb?
The biggest thing that and the most value that I've received from Dubb is inviting people to connect and be a guest on my program, on my podcast. And that's where, what Ruben explained is brilliant. And there's still a thing, exactly what Sandy's talking about, this top of funnel, that a video can make all the difference in the experience that you contain and you continue with down the funnel, because that's the start of accelerating the understanding of who I am, what I'm all about, why I'm here, and why it's important to understand, what we're doing here. And just like Scott does, he does a brilliant job at sharing videos. Ruben, I've watched you grow in the last 3 years, and it's brilliant. And Rob,
More gray hairs.
Yeah. Yes. More
I'm
gray
almost
hairs.
there, Russ. I'm almost there.
Yeah. But it's really accelerating the trust factor. It's accelerating the know, like, and trust, because you could see the person, you can actually understand it. Even if you can't do a personalized video, it's just being able to say that shock and awe of, hey, you took the time to have this video and send it to me, and I'm willing to take time for a phone call and understand what your ideas are, your conversation is about.
Yep. That's a great example. It's like a bridge to what you're doing. It's an absolute, the fixer in between of what you do, with podcasting. It's a wonderful, wonderful connection. And I think the mindset of this whole thing, kind of to put it all together, when you think about Dubb, it's you're allowing video to do your entire sales process. You're cloning yourself in a way. You're getting the messaging out, prospecting, follow-up, nurturing, client comm, testimonials, referrals. The video part, let that do the work. Let that get the humanity out there. And then the data. I say all the time, and stop cold calling and start smart calling. Have your email and SMS campaigns set up. Track the videos with the real-time analytics. Instead of cold calling someone out of the blue, use the data. Oh, I just know they watched my video. Now it's a great time to call. So there's this whole idea where once you get your mindset around, I'm not going to do any more old antiquated things that just aren't getting results, and do something like a system that gets you the results. That's where I think being, selling Dubb to someone and really getting that message through really comes through.
Another, Rob, that's a great thing. And I just want to expand on that comment, is another incredibly valuable opportunity that a lot of people don't think about is introducing people to other people using Dubb video.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, and you say, okay, Scott needs to meet Fred, and so you could do a video and say, hey, do a video introduction, and that has developed business indirectly for me over time. I can't tell you how many times it's developed real business for me as a result of just doing an introduction to somebody.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that right there, that's a top, in my opinion, that's a top 10 pro tip for anyone in business to be a connector, because it's very easy. It's very easy to say, I have needs and I need this, and I'm going to go pitch and I'm going to go ask these people for money. It's not as easy to say, I'm going to connect those two people who can work together and have them succeed without me participating in it. But
Yeah.
the dividends that pays. And I'm not saying that we should do this from a selfish place. It should come from a selfless place. But the dividends that altruism pays out is it's the best. I mean, there's nothing that competes with that. So, givers are the ones that receive the most, but givers that do it for giving, not for taking.
Yeah.
I was gonna share my screen real quick and just kind of share a note here.
Yeah, go ahead. You're on.
Thanks. I jumped in.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is let me see if I can share my screen here. All right, can you guys all see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so the thing that I was gonna say here was, and it's ironic because this is a video for Xavier, who actually gave me a video introduction to someone over LinkedIn, and it was very ironic that Russ, that we were just talking about that the idea of connecting, because this response here, this video response that I'm sending to someone is a thank you for exactly that thing. So very, very timely. Here's what I want to share though. At Dubb, we don't always know what the best features to build are. Okay, we get feature suggestions. People tell us that this is what they think that we should do. We listen to them as much as humanly possible. We prioritize things. But the reality is that we don't know truly what's going to drive, ultimately, what people want is results. People ask us all the time, hey, can you build a full video editing suite in Dubb? And we're like, oh, that's not really what we're about. We're about authentic videos.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of the opposite of what we're about. So probably no, but there's some great free tools out there that you can use to create videos. Another one is the idea to create really intricate, landing pages that look like the ones that you can make on ClickFunnels. And that's, again, a little bit counter to our thesis, because our thesis is that humanity and video are better than a landing page. And that if you have a playlist and a nice video or a series of videos with all the things that you need to show, it's a better form of visual communication, better than any landing page, right?
Yep.
The feature that I want to talk about for just a moment here is the video reply feature, okay? People brought us this idea years ago, and we put it out there, we built it, and it was okay. It wasn't fantastic. It was just okay. It did the job, but it wasn't really integrated into the whole experience. And as we started to receive feedback, we started to iterate it, make it better. It's still not perfect. In fact, yesterday we had a UX meeting on another round of updates for the video reply feature. And the reason why I want to evangelize that feature so much is because sending a video to someone is one thing. Getting a video response back, that's on a whole new level of communication. Now, the trust that you've built, the empathy that exists, that connection that exists between two people is now synchronous. It's back and forth. It's not just I'm doing all the singing and the dancing and you're just in the audience. We're both on stage here and we're both engaged. And that video reply function, I promise you, if you start to get video responses, Sandy, imagine if he had sent you a video response to the cancellation, and then there was a button that said, can you send me a video response back? Now, all of a sudden, first of all, he's definitely going to watch that video, unless he's a monster, and he's going to look into your eyes, and he's going to say, this is what she was feeling. She was feeling frustration. She was feeling like she was not being heard. She was feeling like she was a robot. She was a number in their system. She was not treated like a human being, like the dignity that she so deserves, right? So, so the idea here is that create a call to action. It's already a default. You just have to do a couple of very quick configurations. Create a call to action with video reply. Video, send a video reply, send me a message back, send me a video back. Let me share my screen.
Send me your thoughts. Send me your opinion. Send me your feedback. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, send me your thoughts, send me your opinion. Like, who asks for that, right? So here is mine. I created one recently, a new one actually. So this is a call to action. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, so name, Ruben, video reply. Type, video reply from this drop down. Button, text, reply with video, right? And then you could include a description. It's optional. The description won't appear if there's multiple calls to action. That's a rule. And then save this. And then once this call to action is created, then you can do one of two things. Number one is you can include it right here on the video details page. You just search for it. like this. But the cooler way to do it, the pro way to do it, is actually to go to your presets. Now, can I just get, does anyone want to confess that they have not used or configured their presets? This is a safe place. This is a safe place.
Presets are brilliant.
Nice.
If you have not set up your presets, I'm here to give you a huge hug and a massive vote of confidence to say, go put in the work, watch the tutorial video. Darius created a really good tutorial video. It's very simple. Presets are a simple premise. There's multiple stages in our process. Russ Johns there's multiple things that Russ Johns does. Number one, he invites people to his awesome podcast, The Pirate Syndicate.
Yep.
Okay, available on russjohns.com and in any podcast platform near you.
Hey, I dropped in, Ruben, just really quickly. I dropped in, somebody asked about showcases earlier.
Nice.
And it ties in with a showcase that I created after getting the reply in video to drop into a showcase to extend the testimonials of an event that took place. So
that's huge. If you could just share your screen afterwards.
Yeah.
Video testimonial capturing and showcase pages. That's huge.
Yeah.
So Russ Johns, what does he do? So he invites people to his podcast. He has client bookings for his business. Okay. He has X, Y, and Z. There's so many things in Russ's funnel. Russ, sorry, I don't want to slaughter your process here. I'm just kind of speaking in high level.
Go for it.
Each one of those things needs to be a preset.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? Nurturing, prospecting, client communication, deal closing, referral asking, testimonial gathering. All of those things should be its own preset. And here's why that's the case. Because
thanks, Scott.
If you configure your landing page to have the correct calls to action, to have the correct video options, you can do all the work up front. Set it and forget it. Does that sound familiar? That's what presets are. Presets should be called set it and forget it, because that's exactly what we're doing here. So in this case, this is my default preset. I want to have the Dubb testimonials there. I want to have the Dubb demo there. I want my calendar booking engine. I want all these switches on. I want the video to autoplay. I want the transcription. I want caption. I want video download, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is my default preset, because there's, once you select default in the stack, that's the go-to. That's the one that will always be configured. But I also have so many other ones. For example, here's my podcast one. So the podcast one's very different. The podcast one could be like a sales discovery call, where I have a very specific calendar that's integrated as a call to action. It's not my regular calendar, it's a different calendar. Because when they book on this calendar, then it says, welcome to the podcast. Please have a good mic, a good webcam. Here's some notes. Here's the structure. Please give us your social handle so we can, promote you, so on and so forth. So everything on in this whole experience is very, 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 very customized to each particular task. So once you are on the video page, it's so easy to select your preset. All that you do is click on this tiny little button below the video. The Wi-Fi in this building during business hours is not awesome. So, here, hold on, I got this.
It's not awesome.
Yeah, this button right here, the preset button, that's how you select your preset. So once you take an hour and create your presets, set it and forget it, title them accurately, and then select one of these the next time you go send someone a Dubb video.
And I would argue, Ruben,
it's amazing.
Can I ask you a quick question? Once you've got your preset and then you go change the preset, like update it somehow, does it update all the videos that had that preset, or does it start from now forward?
Ooh, that's a cool question.
Yeah.
If you know me and the way that I think, we should never have people go back and retroactively do things in the past, because that's a ton of work. This is a global thing. So I want you to, so the way that I think, just very, very quickly, I'm going to try to do a visual for this in a minute. I won't do it just right now, but I am going to show a visual, but I'll just use my hands for now. here is a video right here. And then here is a preset. So a video and a preset are like a brother and a sister. They're connected. The preset is then connected. It's the parent of all the different settings, calls to action, branding, those switches. So when you change the preset to the video, it doesn't matter if you've changed the individual settings in the preset, because the brother and sister relationship between the preset and the video do not get changed. So thank you. That's a great question. It is definitely global and retroactive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Global and retroactive. That's like,
I've never said those two words together.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Russ, I mostly say
now.
scalable and repeatable.
Yeah, that's like your deal. Russ, did you have anything you want to show on your end? If not, I've got a big.
Well, I was just going to say, I was going to follow up. Yeah, let me share my screen real quick, and I'll just share a couple of things, because I think it's
nice.
The host is disabled, so you got to share.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep. Now you're going. You're the man.
And then
now,
I was
Russ.
just
Good
going to
man.
very quickly say, Ina, I would love if you're willing to just do a screen share and explain people what we did with Dubb Academy. You know, after Russ goes on this, that was such an interesting process. You know, we signed up with that one company and then that other company, and then we're like, why don't we use Dubb for Dubb Academy? So if you have some time, Ina, I'd love to get that presentation of that showcase page of Dubb Academy.
Yeah, I really love where you ended up with that, and I still owe you a share. So can you see my screen here?
Yes.
Yep. We got
Okay,
it.
so I just wanted to recap this video. And what I did is, after 500 episodes of the Pirate Broadcast,
500.
500,
Awesome.
yes, I had 500 episodes. So I just sent out a couple of your reply in video Dubb videos, and so I got a bunch of videos returned, and I just dropped a couple in here and put it in a showcase so I could actually extend that and share it out with other people that are on the show. So I just, one of those things that somebody asked about the showcase, and we were talking about reply in video. Here's an example of exactly how you can do that, and it's amazing, and you can do that to create, and you can do that in a preset. So that's one of the things that I wanted to share out with everyone today. Also, I wanted to come back to this because the presets are exactly the process that I use to set up the invitations, the responses, and the thank yous for the podcast. So it's three simple steps to rock. And this can be applied to anything. It's not just podcasting. It's business calls, it's communication, it's everything else. And I'll just go through this really quick. But it's, as a partner, you can actually accidentally get people to connect. So step one is create your assets. Just like Ruben was talking about, create your assets and then create your presets. Merge those together, like he was talking about, and then utilize that for that specific goal. So you're not, I like to keep it fairly clean and simple. So if I'm doing a follow-up and I'm doing an introduction, it could be different information in the process. If I'm doing one with the podcast, it's unique to that. But then you go through, and once you have the podcast completed, use it to produce and promote your podcast and share the information along with it. So the next set of assets is the instructions, how to get on the podcast, the camera, the use, and everything that, like Ruben was talking about, all the expectation management, when to show up, here's the links, all of this stuff you can drop into the second one. And then the third one to improve your podcast or your interaction would be, the third call is follow up and instructions, how to share, like, comment, do all the things that promote the idea and their exposure to more, a larger community. So I just wanted to really create that. So it's invitation, the instructions, and the thank you and the follow-up. And those are universal to any platform that you're doing. So if you create that asset and there's a set of instructions in there with the preset, then you can guide people along the journey and make sure that they have everything they need in order to accomplish the goal. So I just want to make sure that we have that in place. So with that, I just open for questions and happy to contribute anything I can to the community because hashtag love my Dubb.
I love that expression. That was such a perfect, simplest breakdown of like the easiest ways to do that, and that was perfect. Ina, if you want to jump in, if you want to jump in with Dubb Academy, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, sure. Can you allow me to share?
There you go.
Let's try
It's such a vulnerable thing. You have to give away hosting rights. You're basically
I know. Give it back. Give it back.
Here's
now.
the keys
Give
to
it
the
back.
house.
I think it should be Ruben who's sharing the hosting. Still showing here only the
Oh,
hosting.
okay, got it. Sorry, let me do this.
Yeah,
Okay,
we-
it's okay. It's okay. What I'll do is actually I'm not the co-host anymore.
I'm going to set you up.
Tom
on a
T is the
different platform.
co-host. Okay, there we go.
No, I think just go to dubb.com/academy.
Okay, I think I can do this. No, wait, I can't.
I can pull it up. It's right out of the resource center.
Dubb.com/academy.
Yeah, it's right out of the resource center.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'll kind of set this up. We went to this one software company and we said, hey, we want to build our academy educational videos certificate program. We went to company A and then we went to company B, and then Ina and I were brainstorming, and then we kind of came up with this idea of just using Dubb, in fact, a showcase page. So
Imagine that.
Full circle.
yeah, full circle. Yeah.
There you go, Ruben.
So Ina, what was this process like for you? How long did it take to create this? What was the process?
Of course, where's my mic on? Okay, as soon as actually it's very easy. Just set it up. Just prepare the videos. Then once they're on your Dubb library, just put in the header image, that video of yours. Set up the calls to action, and then add in all the videos from there. Yeah, it's
Nice.
super easy.
Yeah, so this is a really easy process. If you could make me co-host,
Yeah.
I'll actually share my screen.
Got it. Okay.
And also with using tags, you can see who has actually watched it, correct?
Yes, that's the pro tip. That's a pro tip. That's a total pro tip. I love that. Let me show this real quick. Can you guys see my screen?
So you could help certifications too.
Yeah, so just to give some context on this, here is the public page right here. So this is a showcase page. Now, I don't want anyone to be confused when I talk about showcase pages. We have really three different types of pages that you can create on Dubb. Number one is a standard video page that gets created automatically through any video that gets created, the landing page. We call it the action page. You can left justify that, you can center justify that, you can put some branding, some colors, some background image customization. The second is a portfolio page, which is something that we use only when there's a playlist. So if you have a playlist, I'm going to show what that portfolio page looks like in a moment, but this is a showcase page. And actually, I have to give a shout out to a woman by the name of Nikki who gave us this idea, because she was actually using Wistia. Wistia has something similar to this. It does not have the automation, Russ, that you just mentioned, but it does have the ability to create some page with a collection of videos. So we kind of took her customer needs and said, hey, how do we make this more conversion focused? And then here we have the showcase page. So it effectively shows a title, a featured video, a selection of videos, and then specific calls to action. Here's the cool thing. This is not a WYSIWYG. This is not a drag and drop system. This is a very easily configurable page, right? Put your name in here, put your title in here. By the way, in case you do not know where this is, it's in the assets and then showcases link, okay? Title, description, upload your header image, upload a thumbnail image. That's the image that appears on, Slack or your SMS. That's the little default social image. My tagline was "Be a cool human." That was cool. The calls to action here. We have a button here. You can have multiple. The featured video, that's the one on top. Additional videos, some branding, and then this is actually a kind of a cool feature that Russ, I think, just mentioned, which is that if you have a tag of your videos, those videos will automatically populate on the page. So when we go to create this page, all that we did was we tagged all of our videos with Academy. And then by doing so, all of those videos dynamically appeared on this page right here. So think about that for a second. So let's just do a quick breakout here. Take a bunch of videos, tag them with a title, and create a page in minutes.
And that tag doesn't have to be exclusive. It can be a tag among many.
It can be a tag among many,
Thanks,
and
Andy.
it can be multiple tags. So here is the unlock for this. I understand that not everyone wants to start a podcast or an academy because that's a daunting task. Russ, you've done 500 podcasts, so you know how tough it is. However, any person in business needs to have a collection of testimonial videos. It's the most important thing. Okay? Without social proof, in my opinion, it's nearly impossible to sell, at scale at least. Yes, we can get lucky. Yes, we can make relationships and we can buy martinis and meet people and handshakes and use our awesome personality to build trust. But if we want to experience scale, people need to be able to be sold to without buying.
And
right?
what a wonderfully easy way to get a testimonial by just hitting reply with video.
Exactly. So Rob, if you could map that, that's exactly what I was just going to segue into.
Yep.
The sequence of create a video,
Yep.
reply,
Yep.
tag it with testimonials, and then build a showcase. Take us through that.
Yeah, pretty much the whole idea. Like, you hear all the time, if you're trying to get a testimonial from someone, oh man, you've got to set up a synchronous Zoom meeting, or you got to call them. It just ends up being a nightmare in terms of just, the scheduling of it. And this kind of like leads into like the easiness of Dubb in terms of just convenience, right? So if I send a video, hey, Ruben, listen, it's Rob over here at Dubb. I'm so happy that you're really, really enjoying the platform. You've had great success. Do me a favor, shoot me a quick video back, talk about your experiences. Let me know what's your favorite part of that. Hit the reply with video function below. Love to hear it. Boom, he makes the video, sends it back, and then I immediately have it for my case study page, my testimonial page. It's so easy because I feel like the asynchronous format of that, where I don't need to actually have an interview with him and he can freely speak about what he loves about it. It's more natural and he can do it on his time with no pressure. He can redo it as many times as he likes. That's the value of that. People don't feel burdened by it. They actually feel freed by it.
So can I just make sure I got what you said? You tag a case study and testimonial, and when it shows up, it automatically puts itself in the showcase.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
do
let me-
that. Yeah, go ahead, Ruben. Yeah,
I was
take it,
gonna.
Ruben.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna actually do this in real time. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to videos, and then what I'm gonna do. How many people don't know about this button? That little hamburger button right there. I bet a lot of people don't. It's a pro button. I wish more people knew about it. But what you can do is you can type testimonials. Let's see what shows up here. And then here's a couple, right? So here's one. Here's our testimonial from Brian Smith, from Jeffrey Gittimer, from Ken Newbill, Riley Reed, Jacob, Jason Forrest. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the multiple calls. Sorry, this is called the bulk actions dropdown. Okay, I'm going to click add tags, and I'm going to click testimonials. And then this is already a tag, so it's going to apply this tag to the collection of videos in my account. Okay. Now, once I go to the showcase page, all I have to do is
Update the tag.
update the tag, testimonials. Save that. And then preview the link.
And this is really great opportunity for coaches, consultants, people that are training online courses. And just at the end of the experience, you just say, hey, I'd love to capture this and I'd love to send you a video. And if you could just reply in video, I'd really appreciate it. Then you can take that video, then you can put it in a showcase, and then you have your collection of testimonials for future clients.
So I just retitled the URL just for branding. And then now I'm going to preview this page.
Would that take him 2 minutes?
That took 2 minutes, and the Wi-Fi here is slow, so normally it would take about 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So here it is.
Yep.
Just think about that for a second, you guys.
Yep.
Send a video with a video reply set in your preset. That should be a default thing. Ask for a video testimonial. The more casual it is, the better, guys. The more casual it is, the better. The last thing you want to get, I mean, I say this tongue in cheek, but I'm trying to make a point here. When the video testimonial is overproduced with the hair and makeup and the fancy lighting and the teleprompter, it doesn't look real anymore. At that point, it just looks like one of those paid actors. It looks like Alec Trebek. You know, and it says paid sponsor on the bottom. And the only reason why people like it is because it's Alec Trebek, because he's awesome, you know? But it's a paid sponsor. So unless the person is Alec Trebek, get an authentic testimonial. Have them grab their phone, because that camera is better than most DSLRs these days.
Yeah.
And have them record an authentic testimonial. It could be a webcam, it could be here, it could be a screen video. It could be a screen video that shows some success that they're getting.
But to the point, hey, Ruben, but to the point real quick about how easy that was. I mean, that was so easy to do.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, exactly. I think there's one thing that I'm missing here that I need.
Can I ask you a quick question while you're there?
Yeah, sure. Anytime my page is loading, that's a great time to ask questions.
Well, you know what I'm wondering is, let's say there was an eyeglass company that was my sponsor, and I put their logo in the bottom that said, you know, this educational series sponsored by Who Cares Eyeglass Company. I could actually have sponsors appear in my back panel on a showcase. Right? There's nothing to keep me from doing that.
Nothing from keeping you from doing that. And
Would that be cheesy?
From a podcasting perspective, that's actually, you could actually bring all of your videos in, and you could actually produce all your episodes or any teaching moments, classes, courses, anything else. And a lot of them, YouTubers, you know, have sponsors, and they drop the video or the commercial in the middle of the video where you're turning around and you're putting it on the page so everybody can see it the entire time. So I would test it out, Sandy, and see what kind of results you can get.
Well, what I'm doing is setting up affiliate businesses. So if it's a Taekwondo studio, then I have their showcase with their training videos all on one showcase page. But if they're in the, you know, Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and they want to thank the Chamber of Commerce, I mean, there's some nice community tie-ins that could be done on a local level.
Well, here's the thing that I love, and I just want to answer this question. This is the reason that Dubb sets itself apart from some of the other video solutions, is because it's all available to you. And what you create, there's no rules. How you create it, how you develop it, how you deliver it, and how you share it is up to you, with tags and, you know, the different sections of your assets, your presets. All of this stuff is available to produce results in. And it's up to your imagination and your ability to make those connections and the logic in the process to be able to make that happen. So,
yeah, well, I have no imagination, Russ.
Sandy,
You can always tell how creative someone is based on the glasses that they wear.
I know.
The more funky they are, the more creative they are, Sandy.
check
So I don't
these out.
believe you.
Ready?
And plus all that beautiful artwork.
Those
You
are my
are the-
favorite.
You are the unaccidental fashion icon.
That's awesome. Those
My
are the
daughters
best.
gave me these for Christmas. They said, you're an accidental everything.
Nice. Love that.
love it, Sandy.
There's one missing link just to kind of complete the story. Rob, if you could give me
Yeah.
sharing rights.
Yeah.
It's send a video out asking for a video testimonial. Make sure that the video reply call to action is configured in your preset. Go to the video details page in the video replies tab, which is the 6th tab. Click on this 6th tab here, and then click on this upload button right here. Okay, when you click on this upload button, what happens is this then uploads it into your Dubb library, because these videos are not uploaded into your Dubb library by default. It's a one-click import, you might call it. And then once you import that, then you can add your tag. So that's the complete story. So this should be a whole presentation, which we'll do.
Yeah.
I think now we have more clarity on how to communicate it. But that's the A to Z sequence.
It'd be a Dubb Academy video.
That's a Dubb Academy video for sure.
Yep.
I love that.
And and as we're getting closer, we're up a little bit past the top of the hour. And Russ, you being the man of the hour, I got two things for you. Okay. One, this is my favorite question to ask everybody. What is your daily North Star? When you get up in the morning, what keeps you going? What keeps you pointed in that direction? And two, what's on this horizon for the Pirate Syndicate and the high seas this year?
Thanks for those questions, Rob. I really appreciate it. And my North Star is gratitude. I'm grateful for people like you and Ruben in my life, and Sandy and all of the community here at Dubb, and the ability and the opportunity to share value every day. You know, it's help more people, help more people. It's not a number. It's not, you know, if I help one person a day, I'm grateful. I'm inspired to be able to do that every single day. And with the Pirate Syndicate, one of the things that I'm really putting a lot of energy and effort into is producing shows and events and activities for business owners and business leaders that are doing great work and amplifying that work. And I'm also gathering up producers to help with that journey, and producing basically a collection of producers that want to help more people.
That's great. That's so inspiring, Russ. And like Ruben said so many times before I even met you, what a wonderful guy you are and how talented and so many things that you're doing in your life. And just great that you're able to jump on here and do this today. We really appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm more than happy to do so. And thank you for putting it on and putting it together and creating such an amazing opportunity for so many people.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Ruben,
I wanted to encourage, people that it's more than just selling Dubb. First of all, it's selling yourself. That's your direct income, whatever that might be. You're all configured. Anytime you send a Dubb video, your referral link is present. Number two is proactively send the referral link. It's amazing what's happening. People accidentally make $100 a month through this referral program. Accidentally. They don't even know it's in their account, Sully.
Yeah.
right. Found money.
Leave early.
So if you can accidentally make hundreds of dollars, you can intentionally make thousands or tens of thousands or eventually hundreds of thousands. I'm 100% certain of it.
Yeah.
And that's not conjecture. Ina from our team writes checks. What is the largest check that you've written to a Dubb partner to date?
I think it's 10K.
10K. That's in a month, right?
Yep.
So, and that number is growing. It's not getting smaller. It's getting bigger. And we love that. We fight to pay for these checks. And then the other thing, though, that third thing is that the idea of coaches. Like Russ Johns is a coach. He's an expert. He can teach. He can build. Everyone on this call should be able to have an expertise in something. He happens to have an expertise in building these automations and configuring accounts. So create partnerships. There's a lot that can happen here. If you're going to that big company that, bring real estate, insurance, software, tech, whatever sector you're referring to, bring them to the table and invite Russ or invite the appropriate person, because there's some pros out there, and it's amazing what happens when, 1 and 1 become 11.
Yeah. And the thing is too, you've got to remember too, the retention rate with Dubb, the subscribers of Dubb, people that love Dubb and use Dubb stay with Dubb. So when you get a 30% recurring commission, they're not going anywhere. So what a great motivation from a conversion standpoint of it's such a wonderful product that those payments are going to keep coming in. So from that perspective, that's why we say it's more than just being an affiliate, it's being a partner. So that's something we're big on. So every week, 10 a.m. PST, every Thursday, this recording is going to be put into the Facebook group for everybody as well. And again, thank you so much, Russ, for coming in. You dropped some serious knowledge with us, and we love having these every week. So thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you guys. Tom, John, Greg, Ariane, Ann, Ina, Russ, Rob, and to my parents for me. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Until next week.